once you learn something, especially when it's aligned with justice, it's hard. You can't unlearn it, right? And then you wind up seeing it everywhere you go. It almost starts to become a little bit of a burden, right? It's like sometimes it's hard to enjoy yourself. You're like, well, I'm going to go hiking, but whose land is this?
I had like major anger issues when I was younger, when I was a teenager. And then I've always been very cynical because of that. And so, like I said, it really took me having kids to break myself out of that sort of mindset, because then you're forced, you can't complain and bitch about stuff all the time. Like you literally have to you have to be in an okay mood and even keeled, because I have people that, these small little minds that I'm showing what the world is supposed to be or what it could be or what it is. And whatever I say, they absorb. And so you're really, I think, aware of your emotional state, what you get mad about, what you talk about, all those things. And even now, my kids are getting older and they'll say stuff to me and I'm like, oh, good job. Like, you've learned this. And then they'll say other stuff and I'm like, oh man, well, they picked that up. But yeah, I try to be really honest with them. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I really think that kids have a greater understanding of things than we give them credit for. And, I don't think that we should shy away from historical things. And I'm now, going through that with my daughter who's in 4th grade, and we have the mission system and stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, I can either just sit back and get mad about this and not do anything, or I can try to be as active as I can in educating her, but also perhaps educating her teachers and stuff on what's wrong with the way that you guys are portraying what happened. Growing up, I never really knew how to talk about those things. And I'm sort of learning now. Because it was always sort of like, no, you're Indian only, you're this, and colonizers are bad. And, you have this very divisive sort of perspective on things. And you really can't, unfortunately, have those things. You can be against a lot of sort of the stuff that happened in the past. And I think that I am. I think that I sort of denounce certain things that went on because I think they are terrible things. However, I can't change those things. I can only sort of move forward in a way to maybe openly and honestly, discuss those to the best of my ability and sort of show how they inform the work that I do. Yeah, I hope that people, when they see my art, that's sort of the takeaway. It's a little bit more complex than just a black and white narrative of Native people and, colonizing entities coming in, and that's it. Because there's so much more to all of these stories in the background that are things I think we need to talk about.